Welcome everybody, this is the Leadership Forum 2023 edition, and Mo Gaudat, author of Solve for Happy and next Chief Business Officer of Google X, is joining us. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's just kick off with your performance on the stage. You just went out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the public received your message? And what did you touch on?
I hope so. I hope they were not too scared. I attempted to speak about artificial intelligence. Through my years at Google and being Chief Business Officer of Google X, I know a little bit more about AI than the average person. And I think AI is the biggest revolution we have today. And so if you are not fully aware of AI, then you're not really fully aware of the future. And the theme of this event is really leading for the future. So I spoke about artificial intelligence, where it is already, where it could be within a year or two. I spoke about how that impacts on the future of work, the future of happiness, the future of ethics. And basically, in my attempt, I have to show the truth, so it could be a little bit scary sometimes because of all of the change, but also I hope I delivered the message of the hope of what we can do if we have more intelligence used properly in the benefit of humanity.
So if we have to sum up, artificial intelligence is rather beneficial for humanity.
It can be, and it can be.
Is it a threat or not?
It can be a threat if we use it wrong. So there is nothing wrong with intelligence. More intelligence is good for everyone if we used it for the good of humanity. More intelligence is bad for everyone if we continue to use it as we did with other technologies to further power and wealth, and where humanity normally goes is individual benefits, while where we should actually go is to look at the benefit of all of us. We're starting an age of abundance where it could become very possible that we solve all problems known to humanity if we use AI properly.
All right, so it's, how can I say, the next big thing in tech?
It is definitely the current big thing in tech and the last big thing in tech, because once artificial intelligence is smarter than humanity, which we are on the cusp of, and we already taught it how to write code, the next innovation might not be made by a human. It might actually be made by artificial intelligence, which could be the last invention of humanity.
So do you think that actually artificial intelligence is, how can I say, the most important thing for the current leadership and current leaders?
I believe so. So as I said in my talk, we are in a perfect storm, really. I mean, humanity's never seen so many variables at the same time. There are geopolitical issues, there are economic issues, there is climate change. There are so many challenges ahead of us. And I think the truth is that if we get AI right, we could solve quite a few of them. If we get it wrong, I don't think many of the others would matter as much, to be honest.
So I'd like to focus also on your first book, Solve for Happy.
Yes.
Which is extremely interesting to us because it talks about an equation that makes our life, I guess, personal and work life, happier.
Yes.
Which is probably also, one of the biggest challenges for leaders nowadays.
Absolutely.
Apart from AI.
Yeah.
So can you share with us a bit more about it? If you cannot share the entire equation, at least.
No, it's not that complicated. So when I started to work on the equation, it was a lot bigger and had, logs and sums and stuff on it. But then when I wrote the book, I simplified it to reality of what makes us happy or unhappy. And it's actually not complicated when you think about it. No event has ever made you happy or unhappy, right? The events of your life, if you wanted them to be in a certain way, could make you happy. If you wanted them to be a different way, they could make you unhappy. I always joke and I say, if it rains and it's your ex-boyfriend's wedding, it makes you very happy, right? But if it rains and you want to sit in the sun, it makes you unhappy. There is no inherent value of unhappiness in rain, right? It's a comparison that happens inside your head between the event, which is rain, and how you want life to be, your expectations, that makes you happy or unhappy. So happiness in that case is equal to or greater than the difference between the events of your life and your expectations of how life should be. So you look at it, and we're here in this wonderful place, we're having this lovely conversation, and if in your mind you're focusing on maybe the noise that's in the far end of the hall, it will make you unhappy. If you're focusing on, you know, the possibility that we deliver this message to someone, that it makes a difference to them, it will make you happy, okay? And every human has the capability of reflecting on that equation literally with every change of context. So I would sit on this seat and I would go like, okay, is it squeaky? Is it going to make noises? You know, and I could get a positive emotion or a negative emotion based on that comparison. Is that what I want life to be? Now, once you know that, finding happiness becomes a lot easier, because it becomes a question of, can I look at the reality of my perception of the event, and can I look at the reality of how realistic my expectations are? And then more often than not, you can find that life is really not that bad at all.
So it's about how you think about things.
I tend to believe that if we were to be trained for happiness, the first place where we should be trained is our mind. So most of the, I mean, if anything from yesterday or 2 weeks ago is making you upset, honestly, what a waste of life. You know, the event happened already. You can't change it. The only place where that event exists is inside your head. If something that may happen or may not tomorrow is making you worried, again, you know, the moment that you're in is okay. It's just that your brain fast forwards to tomorrow to find something to think about, give it life inside your head, and make you unhappy. Now, the interesting side of this algorithmically is that if you have the brain capacity to think about something from the past or something from the future, that by definition means that now is okay. If you really think about it, if there was a tiger in front of you attacking you right now, you wouldn't be thinking about the past and the future, okay? Yeah. By definition, if there is no tiger, that means now is okay, and now we sit back and we start to ruminate about the past and worry about the future. And when you really see it that way, then a mastery of the mind, a way for us to simply say, hold on, those negative thoughts, events minus expectations, are there for a reason. They are a message to you that something requires your attention, okay? That something doesn't exactly match your expectations, and accordingly, maybe you should be alerted to this so that you do something about it. And if you see it this way, then do something about it. What's the point in sitting in a corner and being unhappy? Mind mastery will allow you to, number one, see if there is actually a reason to be unhappy. Maybe there is, you know, a bit of gratitude can remind you that other things are amazing. Maybe you can engage and do something about it and remove the unhappiness. Or, by the way, if you can never fix it, then why not accept it and then make your life better despite its presence? And all of these are skills of the mind. Just like going to the gym to carry weights will make you stronger, you know, keeping a discipline in the way you look at the world makes you happier.
Right. In final take, if you had to take a look back at your leadership experience in Google X, for example, what would you advise the leaders of today? What's the biggest lesson you gather from this work experience? I found, as a leader, of course.
I found that my job as first of all, there is a big difference between leaders and managers, right? Managers are what, you know, management is what we learn in business school, which basically is pushing people from behind to do things they don't like. Okay, and we make so much noise around it, and we have amazing managers that annoy everyone and get things done, right? Leadership is the opposite. Leadership is to believe in something so much, okay, to be willing to take it on yourself and to charge the way, right? To tell your team, by the way, wouldn't it be amazing if all our clients felt this way? Wouldn't it be amazing if we built a product that did that? Wouldn't it be amazing if we all worked together as a lovely family and we enjoyed each other's companies? Whatever it is, if you believe in a vision and you run forward, okay, a true leader will be followed. He will not push, or she will not push anyone. So this is one side. I am a very serious geek, so my entire skills as a young man were programming and mathematics and so on. And when I first became a leader, that annoyed all of my team, because either I did the job for them or I told them exactly how to do the job, because I thought I was intelligent enough to solve those problems and just give them the solution. And that annoyed everyone that I knew. And over time, I realized that the role of a leader is not to get the job done at all. the role of a leader is to enable their people to get the job done, is to give them the environment to get the job done, and in the process, by the way, make them happy so that they come again tomorrow and put all of their energy in to get the job done, right? And so I remember vividly that the only skill I had by my, later in my career, by the years I joined Google and Google X and so on, was that I made my workplace the happiest place in Google.
Wow.
Which was very, very simple, honestly, because when you make your workplace the happiest place, then the smartest of all the smart people will come work for you, because Google pays the same everywhere. It just, if I can make this happier, then it's a better advantage. And if you get the smartest people, you'll get the top results. And if you get the top results, they will be motivated, they will be incented, they will invite their friends. And over time, as I started to grow my business in emerging markets or at Google X and so on, I just had amazing humans around me that felt safe, that felt empowered, that did their best, and we were extremely successful as a result. Never needed to push anyone. We always needed to agree what the target is. And I had this very, very simple agreement with everyone that he or she who assumes the target has the right to make the decision. So if one of my senior, regional VPs or whatever wanted to do business in a certain way, I no longer assumed I was smarter than them. They were closer to the business. So I showed my point of view. I told them openly, look, I believe if you do it this way, it will be better, but it's your target. You can do it whichever way you want. If you do it my way, it's my target. If you do it your way, it's yours. And that way they felt empowered. Yeah, most of the time we succeeded. Sometimes we made mistakes and missed our, something or another. But overall, the work environment was constantly thriving.
Right, great. Thank you so much, Mo Gawdat.
Thank you for having me.
Author of Solve for Happy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.